How's it going, Reef Keepers? So I had a subscriber reach out to me and say, hey, you had mentioned Dr. Reefs in a previous video. What's your experience with getting quarantined fish from Dr. Reefs? And it's true, I get quarantined fish that are pre-quarantined because if I set up one more tank in my house, my wife will lose her marbles. Even if it's a small, out of the way, usually empty tank, there's no more tanks allowed in this house. So I do get pre-quarantined fish, and it has been a great experience with Dr. Reefs. And I figure we'll do kind of a little fish tour and just kind of talk about it. So the only fish in this tank that are not Dr. Reefs fish are the 2 clownfish that you'll see, and then my foxface. Foxface was wild caught, and by the way, had a belly full of worms or some other parasite, and I had to go through, soaking food and medicine and, spend a couple months getting those, getting the puffy belly to go away. So that wasn't great, and just more reason for me to get quarantined fish as far as I'm concerned. But I guess we'll start with the yellow tang since he's right up front right now. And that's actually like one of my best Dr. Reef stories. So this yellow tang, you can see how fat and healthy he is. It was too small when it came into their facility for them to be comfortable sending that tang out. So when I ordered it, it was $200 Biota Tang. And when I ordered it, they contacted me, and it was winter months too. So I think they were, a little hesitant on that considering the small size of the new crop of tangs they had gotten in. And they basically just said, hey, the tangs that we just got in, they're all thriving, they're all doing, good. But we, in addition to quarantine time, we also just want some more time with the tangs to fatten them up a little bit and strengthen them up so that, when we're shipping through the cold, there's a better chance of survival. And that level of maturity, like not grabbing the money right then, like they wait to bill until they ship. So they could have had my money and just crossed their fingers and shipped out a tang, and then if that tang died, had that fight about it later. But instead of being inclined to do that, grab money and fight with a customer later, they want to avoid the fight, and they want the fish to live, more importantly. So to me, that was an immediate signal, like, this is a legit shop. Like they're trying to do things the right way, and I highly, highly respect that, right? And I've been so happy with that tang. It's a tank tang for sure. Very used to the tank. I don't see like crazy aggression out of the fish. I don't see weird behavior out of the fish. It just wants to hang out and eat algae. So Biota tangs, especially from Dr. Reefs, highly recommend. That Tamini tang kind of down here in the middle, he likes to hang out behind the rocks, so it's kind of hard to get him on camera. I'm trying to sneak up on him. But Tamini tang, also it was a little larger than the yellow tang when it came in, but that Tamini tang was also an incredibly beautiful and healthy fish. And that is something I've noticed. I mean, maybe it's just that I love marine fish, but the fish that come in from Dr. Reefs, like I've bought fish from fish stores that are wild caught, and I've had wild caught fish shipped to me. They always come to me and they just seem like you almost got to color them up like a new coral frag. Like you got to have them in the tank, and they got to acclimate, and they, you might have to treat them with medicine if they got worms or whatever. They got to start eating again and learn how to eat tank food, and it just seems like they're a little worse for wear, right? And I think that's probably true. Most of them probably are a little worse for wear coming out of the ocean and getting shipped in. Quarantine fish, they've gotten used to a facility, right? And yeah, you're paying up a little bit because of the amount of time and human effort and care and medicine and food that's going to go into quarantining a fish. But I just feel like it's worth it because the fish that come from Dr. Reefs, to me, are so like vibrant. Like I pull it out of the box and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this fish looks great. And typically they do come on the smaller side. So I think I don't know if they have an agreement that they prefer smaller specimens or something like that. But I have found that you can of course put a special request in and say, can you send me your biggest, strongest one? But I usually say, send me your smallest one, because they do such a good job and the fish is so stable that when it comes in, I like to see the fish grow from a baby to an adult. I like to be part of that journey and enjoy it like flourishing in my tank and aging in my tank. So people who like that, Dr. Reefs is, plus if you get them as a baby, they are going to grow up being used to the tank, being used to tank life. And I think that actually contributes to better behavior in fish. This is a theory of mine. I'm not saying I'm not humble fish. I don't know, but I have to believe they'll get more used to the tank if that's all they can remember, right? Let's see. Oh, the Melanurus wrasse is kind of hanging out in the corner waiting for food right now. I'm gonna sneak up, hope she doesn't run away. She doesn't love the camera. So that wrasse is my most recent fish from Dr. Reefs. Beautiful fish, came in so healthy. By the way, Dr. Reefs fish, I've only had like 1 or 2 out of, by the way, I order all the fish for that preschool tank that I also take care of in my town. Only like a couple fish that were for their tank did not eat out of the bag. I'm not kidding. These fish eat out of the bag because they just ship overnight and they're so used to being in the tanks for a prolonged period, and they're obviously fed well, during that period they're at Dr. Reef's facility, that they're like expecting food. They're like, all right, human, feed me. And I'll put them in the acclimation box in the tank, drop, pellets in or whatever, and they're just like boom, 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 immediately. So seeing a fish eat right out of the bag like that after shipping, that's a huge stress reliever. So that's pretty awesome. I see now the angelfish is out, the little dwarf angel, Coral Beauty. She's a beautiful fish, and I know this is not like because of Dr. Reefs, but she actually does not pick at coral. That's pretty remarkable. I'm really happy that she does not, attack my coral. A lot of people are like, how do you have one that doesn't attack coral? I don't know. I just got really lucky. Take a look at her. It's hard to get her markings on camera. Oh, there, when she turned in the light, you could really see the stripes. But she's got like this luminescent blue around the tips of her fins that I so wish the camera could pick up because she's just gorgeous. Let's see here. I wish I could see the long-nose hawkfish. That's one of my favorite fish, and it came super, super small, but he seems to be doing pretty good. And he likes to hide out. He likes to, during the bright lights, I think they're pretty much nocturnal fish, so he likes to hide in shadows. If I see him, I'll check him out. But also, I think this goby here, I think it's a Wheeler's goby, I want to say. He's one of my daughter's favorite fish because he's right there at her eye level, and he's always popping in and out and doing funny stuff. And again, I mean, gobies are gobies, but healthy fish. So, why can't I remember the name of this fish? This beautiful little damsel. Got this one too. Again, even small fish, no problems, healthy. So, there's the long-nosed hawkfish. He just pulled, so he's right under this coral. You can kind of see him like right there. See his nose? So, again, long-nosed hawkfish, very, very healthy. All of them. I mean, this is kind of getting repetitive. I don't want to bore you guys. Point being, like, broad point I'm making, giving you a little fish tour. The fish that I've gotten from Dr. Reefs, I've not had one die. I've not had one be sick. And I've only had a couple, that were, and not even for my tank, for the preschool's tank, that were just nervous and just, I guess, kids smashing their faces up against the glass, probably not their favorite thing, that didn't eat on the first day, but did eat on the second day. All other fish, like I don't know how many I've ordered from this point. Let's say I've ordered 20 fish between my 3 tanks and the preschool. I would say 18 of them ate out of the bag. Out of the bag, into the water, boom, eating food. And healthy, vibrant, no disease. Coupled with the story about the yellow tang, wanting that, to fatten and strengthen those tangs up and make the mature choice rather than the quick money choice. I just think that if you don't have a quarantine set up at home and you're like worried about disease and or you just want healthy fish that are going to eat pretty much right out of the bag, I would definitely recommend Dr. Reefs. Now, every fish shop has their caveat, right? So the caveat with Dr. Reef seems like a pretty small shop, a pretty a pretty small human operation. Like the fish operation might be big, but it doesn't seem like they have like, you know, reams of staff that they can, call this guy, call that guy, call these people. Like they don't really operate with phones. They pretty much do everything over email. So go into it anticipating that. If you're a phone person who wants to be able to pick up a phone and just like instantly get something done, probably not the shop for you. They do respond to email within like 3-4 hours. I mean, they're quick unless it's like a lower order concern email. They do take special requests. Like they'll try to work on you with scheduling and stuff like that. They let you choose like the day that you want to receive the fish and all that. Yeah, you are going to be pretty much relegated to email working with them. So keep that in mind. I know some people are just phone people, and it would frustrate them to not be able to just pick up the phone and instantly get something done. They operate, I think that the people who are like working customer service are probably also working out in the actual warehouse with the fish. So they're like between jobs getting back to people, you know, as they need to. But, you know, it is what it is. For such good service and such healthy fish, I'm willing to put up with a couple hours wait to get an email back if I have something urgent. And I think I've only had like one urgent thing. I can't remember what it was. It was very early on. But again, within a couple hours, they were like, boom, got back to me. It was something with billing. I think I got like double charged or something, and it was something to do with my bank card. So it wasn't even on them. But yeah, guys, Dr. Reef's, solid choice. I've talked long enough and bored you all long enough with my repetitiveness. Hope this is helpful to some people who are curious about quarantined fish and wondering, you know, what's a good source here. Dr. Reef's, aka Affordable Saltwater, as they're transitioning into that name. Great experiences, guys. Absolutely great. So, all right. Have a good one, everybody.